Hello and welcome to the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. Today is Thursday, so we are doing some sewing stuff today. There's just so much beauty in the sewing community. I love everything about learning new crafts. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for coming. And if you're returning and you're normally a yarn subscriber, thank you so much for watching the sewing portion. If you're here just because you're a sewist, thank you so much for coming. I also knit and crochet and dye yarn and do some knit and crochet designing. So thank you so much for coming by. Today, I am going to cover some of the things that I've been working on for sewing, and you actually might be able to see some of it here to my left and to my right. So one of the first things that I want to cover is, did you know that polyfill takes up a lot more space than I thought it did? I ordered some polyester polyfill for stuffed animals, and I ordered 2 5-pound boxes because they were $12.50 a box, and I was like, why not? That'll give me plenty for, you know, pillows and stuffed animals and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. So, this is a 5-pound box of fiber fill. I got 2 of these. It's a lot. I didn't know it was going to be that much. So now I have to make stuffed animals and pillows, because otherwise this is just going to sit here. I actually do have a stuffed animal. I kind of wanted to rip it. It's a stuffed animal I've had since I was like 5. And it's seen some better days. I thought about taking the seams out and replacing the fiber fill and sewing up some of the holes, and the dogs chewed out the safety eyes, and so I have some safety eyes, and I thought about replacing those so that I could kind of make it, you know, a little bit new. And then I realized that I'm not great at sewing stuffed animals, so I don't really want to rip them apart yet. So I gotta practice a little more and get better at that before I decide to rip them apart. But, speaking of stuffed animals, I've been sewing bears. So this is the first one, and this is sewing pattern from Simplicity 8044. This, you can actually make a dog, a rabbit, or a bear with this pattern. I got it at Walmart for $9. And so I used some leftover Pride fabric from that Pride quilt that I made, and I used some buttons for his eyes, and I embroidered his nose because at the time that I made this, I did not have the safety eyes yet. They were on their way, and I was impatient. Also, the fiber fill was not here yet, and I had a plan of taking my sofa pillows, not the cushions, the pillows, the big ones. They're 23 by 23, I think. I can wash the sofa cushion covers, but I couldn't wash the pillows because they didn't have a zipper. They were just sewn closed. I was like, well, surely there's an insert in there and I can just unsew the seam and I'll sew a zipper. I'll re-sew all of the cushions with a zipper so that I can take them off and wash them as needed. Well, I opened it. No, there's not a cover in there. There's just fiber fill. So because I knew more was on its way, I took fiber fill out of a pillow and I put it in here. So I'm going to replace the fiber fill in the pillow. But I'm actually going to make pillow forms for all of these cushions so that when I want to wash the cushions, I don't have just a bunch of loose fiber fill. That is going to be kind of a long project. There's like 12 of them. So what I need to do is I need to get a bunch of like just kind of cheap pre-cut fabric or something so I can make the inserts. But that won't be hard because the insert I'm not going to put a zipper in. Actually, I might. Because then I can stuff more in there as it shrinks down. But the outside cushion definitely needs a zipper because I need to be able to throw it in the wash. I have dogs. The covers need to get washed. So yeah, this is the first bear I sewed. And this was easier because it's only 4 pieces. It's 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces. And you leave an opening in the back and then you hand stitch it together, which I'm not great at, but I did it. So that was the first one. And the second one was a little bit harder, and by a little bit, I mean I actually did this one first, and I'm bad at it. This is called the How Joyful Bear, and this is using a bunch of scrap fabric from my stash. So we've got Slytherin, we've got unicorns, we've got stripes, we've got some Harry Potter fabric, more Harry Potter fabric, we got polka dots, we got the peanuts, we got Christmas fabric, or holiday fabric, more Slytherin, more Harry Potter stuff, some from the Alexander Henry line. I didn't actually get any of the men in it, just the tractor, which I thought was kind of funny. And then ears are stripes on both sides. So this is not an easy pattern. It has a lot of pattern pieces. It is not easy. And I didn't realize that when I was cutting out the pattern pieces, that the pattern actually says you have to add your own seam allowance. The pattern pieces do not include the seam allowance. And that threw me off. So I was trying to sew this without a seam allowance. Or adding a seam allowance to pattern pieces that should have been the size after the seam allowance. So the other thing was the tutorial for this is only photos, and it wasn't really step by step. It would just say, sew this piece to this piece. Okay. So this took about 4 hours because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. The only thing I don't like is that you sew the head and the body separately, stuff them separately, and then you sew the head to the body with hand stitching. And I hate that. So I found a tutorial online of someone who makes this bear, and she's probably, in the video, she can't be more than 25. She's young. She's a very young person. Found a tutorial of her sewing this bear. So I'm going to follow that tutorial with her. I actually watched half of it already just to kind of get an idea of what she was doing. But I'm going to follow it with her the next time I sew this. And hopefully it'll turn out better. I've already drawn out the new pattern pieces on another thing. It's actually, it's a flannel blanket. It's that like flannel blanket material. You know how you buy those like pre-made blankets around Christmas? They're like $4 and you give them to people at like holiday parties or whatever because you're like, I don't know what to give you. Here's a blanket. Which by the way, I love. So I got some of that. It was a remnant at Joann's. I think I paid like $8 for what looks like 2.5 yards, but it's a really wide blanket fabric. It's the blanket fabrics. It's the blanket fabrics at Joann's. The ones that most people like to cut and then tie. It's that material, but it looks like a Christmas tablecloth. I've actually seen this pattern somewhere, and I can't remember where, but I looked at it and went, oh my god, I know what that is. So I have it all traced out. I just haven't cut them out yet, but I did add the 1/4 inch seam allowance as best as I could. That's why my hand has Sharpie on it, because Sharpie on flannel is not as permanent as you would think. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to try and do this again. I also think with that material, it's going to be super cuddly. If I can get good at this, I would like to sell them. My problem is, so I'm seeing a lot of people, like on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok, I'm seeing a lot of people who are starting small businesses, but they're starting like sticker businesses or something like that, and they're selling on Etsy, and they seem to be doing really well. And I've actually been making a lot of purchases from Etsy recently because there's a lot of really cool small business startups that I'm finding. So I've been making purchases because I want to support small businesses. And I've toyed with the idea of reopening my Etsy shop. The only problem with doing that is that it requires another business license. It's going to, because I don't want to sell non-yarn related things under my yarn brand. And in order to, even if I wanted to do something that's like Will's Handmade Gifts by Spargur Yarn Co. or something like that, or like if I were to come up, let's say the business name would be like Truly Handmade or Lovingly Handmade or something like that. And then I could put like by Spargur Yarn Co. But even then, it's still a separate entity, which requires a different business license. It requires an LLC, and I don't know if that's the way to go. And the only reason I would want to do Etsy is because they have built-in ways of sending customers to your store. Like all the technical background stuff on the web pages, it's there to help direct people to your shop. And that's nice, but I don't know if I want to go through that, or if I just want to open my Etsy shop as Spargur Yarn Co. and include all of the things that I make in there, because I like having everything through the website, my Shopify site, but I do know that a lot of people are driven to your store a little bit better through Etsy, so I thought about just having it open in both places. I don't know. It's an idea I'm toying with, but I'm not good enough at sewing stuff like this yet for that to be a place for me to open things up. The other thing is I want to do art prints, and I've been doing a lot of art on my iPad with the Procreate app. I've been getting kind of good at it, and I'm really enjoying it. That's where I'm designing a lot of my fabrics, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. I don't know. It's an idea I'm toying with. I don't know if I want to do it. My goal in life is to eventually be my own boss. But I'm trying to figure out if I'm spreading myself too thin by having too many things that I have my hands in, or if this is the best way to get more people interested in the things that I enjoy doing. And then there's the question of, am I going to continue enjoying doing it if I have to do it? So it's just a lot of things to think about, and I think right now, because a lot of people are at home, once we're able to be out and about more than we are now, will I still have these ideas of wanting to be at home and be my own boss? I don't know. Again, things I'm thinking about. But speaking of fabric, and this is kind of lead into the other thing. So I've been designing fabrics and putting them on Spoonflower, and the first 5 proofs came in. So the only ones that I can actually sell on Spoonflower are the ones that I have proofed and had printed and sent to me, so that I can verify that it looks the way I want it to look and that it's good to go for sale. So I have probably about 15 or 16 designs put in there, but I only have 5 currently available for sale. And these are, of course, my earlier ones, but there will be more that are a little bit better coming in the future. So this is the first one. Just some hearts. Fun little repeat. I think this is the first thing I ever drew in Procreate. So it's cute. And I'm happy with it. So I've got that. The second one, this is the second one I ever drew. This is my dog Princess, just a rough sketch. I think I could do this better, and I might. This one might just be for me. I don't expect really anyone to buy this, but I'm happy with it, and I'll turn it into something for myself. But I think I can do her image a little bit more justice now that I kind of know what I'm doing. I think this was like the 3rd thing I did in Procreate. The 3rd one is my Pride fabric. I thought this was just cute to have. And it'll sell, probably around the June period of time. But, just fun, cute. I thought, around the time of Pride, so like next June, I could order some of this, maybe 5 or 6 yards of it, and I could make, bears with it so that you could have a Pride bear. It's an idea. And then this is the 4th one. This one's called Tools of the Trade. So ruler, there's a needle gauge, guide, bags, yarn, needles, stitch markers, and sheep. on a cute little background. So that's one of them. And then this is the 5th one. That's what I have available so far on Spoonflower. I'm going to do more here soon. This one I turned into a pillow. This is a travel size pillow, so it's 14 by 20. It's great for being on the road. And this is incorporating something that I've been working on doing. So I've made pillows. I've shown these in the past. But in the past, I've been doing these like secret hideaway things so that you can get a pillow in and out. You can, change the insert or whatever. And what I'm realizing is that I'm not a huge fan of that. I could put buttons or snaps or whatever to keep it closed, but I'm just not a huge fan of this. And I've done it on this one and on the travel pillows. I've done kind of the French thing where there's a little flap, but it's still open. I don't like that. I don't think it's clean. I don't think it looks nice. I don't like being able to see the pillow. I'm weird. I just don't like being able to see the pillow. I don't even like it on my regular pillowcases. I have actually bought king-sized pillowcases for standard pillows so that I can fold the flap behind the pillow when it's on the bed so that I can't see the pillow. So, what I've started doing when I make pillowcases now is I've been putting a zipper so that it's in there. You know it's in there, but it zips closed. So it's nice and clean edges, but you can't see the pillow. Everything fits in here very nicely. A nice back. I prefer this so much better. So even with this size, I've been putting a zipper down here. And I've been replacing these. I need to fix this one. This one might get a snap because it's older. So this one might get a snap. Actually, it might get a safety pin for now. Just to keep that closed. But then I found this beautiful fabric in the remnants bin at Joann's. It's quilted. It's a quilted fabric, and I had it in 2 colors. So I made 2 pillows this size, the 18 by 18 with the zipper on the bottom, and one is on my bed and one is on the sofa. But one of the remnants was big enough after I made the smaller pillow. I was like, oh, this is a nice size. I made a full bed sham. Like, this is a standard pillow sham. And this pattern is so pretty. It's so quilted and it's microfiber and so soft. And now this I did do the Hideaway, but the Hideaway is about 3 inches overlap, so I can't see the pillow that's in here. And I am so thrilled with how this turned out. And I wasn't even paying attention, but somehow this is actually perfectly in the center. I didn't do that on purpose. I love this, and I think it's my new favorite pillow sham. This was so easy to make. I didn't even follow a tutorial. I was just kind of like, this seems simple enough. I can do that. And I did, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, new favorite pillow sham. And now the pillow that's in here is kind of old, so it's a little deflated. I might get a new pillow to put in here so that it's a little more poofy, but for now, I'm really happy with it. I don't sleep with it, so I have probably about 12 pillows on my bed. I only sleep with 3. 4. Sleep with 4. 2 under my head. I have one then that's beside my head next to my other pillows, and that's where Duchess sleeps. She likes to sleep near my head. And then I have another pillow at the foot of the bed where Princess sleeps. Also, I sleep with 5 pillows, because then I also have a pillow between my knees. So I sleep with 5 pillows. And then I sleep with a stuffed animal. So I guess in a way it's 6. So yeah, I'm super thrilled with this though. It's so cute. Um, that being said, so I cleaned out my sewing machine for the first time ever. That was a lot of lint. I'm really glad I cleaned it out though. I actually didn't know I needed to do that. So I cleaned it out. Runs so much better now. It does need some oil, and I have ordered some because I can't seem to get to the quilt store when it's open because they're only open from 10 to 3, which is all of the time that I'm working. So I haven't been able to get in there to pick any of that up, so I ordered some and I'm having it shipped to me, and then I'll oil that up and it'll be good to go. And then I have a quilt that I just need to bind, and then I'll be good. So that's kind of what I'm working on currently for all my sewing stuff. So thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow we're going to have some life updates. So if you're not interested in my personal life, you don't have to watch that. But that's what we will have tomorrow. So thank you again. I will see you all again very soon here on the Spargur Yarn. What are words? On the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. Thanks.